Oh man, there's like a lot of things I love about this, but just a few that I just can't get over. So who is this sub 250 gram drone for? And at $179, is this the best budget drone for beginners? Or for an extra $300, should you pony up and get one of these? Well, I think I can answer that, but there's a few things you need to know about this guy first. So is the Ruko F11 Mini worth it? So this is worth repeating. Who is this drone for? Well, roughly anybody with $179 who wants a drone. But honestly, maybe it's more for somebody who's really eager to get into flying, but doesn't have the budget yet for a DJI Mini. Or maybe it's even more for somebody who's into RC cars and gadgets and may want to dip their toes into flying, but as this thing has a massive over 1 mile range, that could be enticing by itself. Yet who isn't this for, and I'll tell you now, is somebody who wants to capture smooth, epic videos from, say, a castle in Italy or a beach in Malibu. However, it still could also be for somebody who wants to take epic pictures in epic locations and is getting into aerial photography. Then finally, it may be for somebody like myself who loves that this budget drone can do a few things that my Mini 2 can't, such as track me, well, when you can get it to work, and the fact that you don't even need a remote because you can just use your phone. And this was my favorite feature, but because of that, you can turn it into an FPV drone. Of course, there are expectedly at this price point some issues that I will dive into that you need to consider before you buy. So I'm going to keep this brief as I have seen tons of great tutorials and distance fly tests for this drone already, whereas I'd rather just show you some footage that I got, and you don't need a 45-minute long video from me, but I will link below the proof of all of its range as well as some simple operating tutorials and whatnot. I just wanted to put this drone on your radar as I haven't had it for long, or been able to travel with it as much as my Mini 2, but also because I hadn't heard of it until recently when I was shopping for a gift for my 10-year-old nephew who wants to get into flying drones. So let me introduce you. The Ruko F11 Mini Drone with its brushless motor boasts some impressive features that make it a clear budget choice for hobbyists or newbies looking to learn. So with its camera, you can capture clean photos in a 4K aspect ratio, but not in video. You do, however, get a 2.7K at 25 frames per second image, comparable to the DJI Mini SE. It also has a 120-degree wide-angle field of view with an adjustable 90-degree lens to really frame your shots out. You can also get real-time 2K video transmissions up to 1,640 feet away. Yet in total, with a 720p feed, you can fly it up to 393 feet high and with a distance of 6,561 feet. Another notable feature of the Ruko F11 Mini is its better than expected 30-minute flight time with 2 intelligent flight batteries included in the bag. It's also worth mentioning what you get. You get all of this, a really high quality bag, remote that packs up with a nice foam cover and a diagram, and the drone folds away neatly with an included camera guard. You get extra propellers, charging cables, and all that for, and at the time of recording this, $179 linked below, with the 2 batteries. So overall, you get an hour of fly time on one charge in the bundle. Yet you don't get a micro SD card, but you can put in a 128 gigabyte card, and those are super cheap. However, because of the solid transmission, you can take 4K photos and videos without a memory card as it goes straight to your phone, which is a really nice bonus. And the cool thing about connecting to the Ruko is it emits its own Wi-Fi, which is how you stay connected to it and how you transfer your data. Then with its intelligent GPS flight capabilities, the Ruko F11 Mini can use features like Follow Me, Waypoint Flight, and Point of Interest to capture footage similar to the DJI's QuickShot that works well with some patience. And if the drone's battery is low or the signal is weak, you can press the one-tap return button and the drone will auto-return home. The feature is obviously particularly useful for beginners who are still learning the ropes, or me who is just an anxious flyer. The Ruko is generally very beginner friendly as you can take off and land with just one tap. There's also an emergency landing function in case of any issues during the flight. The responsive two-way rechargeable controller makes flying the drone easy, or again, you can just use your phone. The drone is clearly intended to be easy to use, but it's specifically designed to be lightweight, weighing close to 244 grams and therefore doesn't require FAA registration, which is essential. So if you don't know why this drone being lighter than 250 grams matters, because like the DJI Minis, at that weight, since you don't need to get a license for it, it makes it the perfect travel and everyday drone. There's just no red tape. However, one issue that does arise due to how really light it is that it can drift on you, whereas my DJIs don't. I use my Mini 2 through really tight places, but I don't recommend that with the Ruko. I also recommend taking the Ruko to a big open field where any drift it may have is easily manageable. So the fact that it can drift around in the wind isn't a big issue, as those little movements won't affect your flying overall, but where the lack of stability plays a big part is with your video quality, as it's hampered by what I thought was a one-axis gimbal. Yet what I now understand is just better stated as a no-axis gimbal. So here's an unusual video test, or a vlog style, of the gimbal, or lack thereof, compared to the Mini 2. Okay, now I want to show you what it would be like to vlog on the Ruko, not because you should, but just to show you what the one-axis gimbal stabilization can do. And the one-axis is a sort of up and down. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'll go side to side. So you're going to get some shake, you're going to get some distortion. I also want you to see what this 2.7K video looks like. It's actually, I'm noticing it's pretty good. It's not 4K, which is sort of the standard nowadays, but it is better than I thought it would be. And the stabilization isn't that bad. It's just maybe not exactly perfect for flying and getting those epic cinematic, mountain shots or whatever you want to do. I think this is more perfectly paired for somebody who's just getting into drone flying, who really wants to sort of go from RC cars into drone flying and maybe see if they want to get into the videography side or photography side, because that's probably better suited for taking pictures than it is for video, because you can see it's not quite stable. I'm also going to be comparing this to the DJI Mini 2, which is 3 times the price, but it has a 3-axis gimbal as compared to a 1-axis gimbal. So it's going to be a lot steadier of a shot. So when you're flying in high winds, you don't really get any shake, jitter, or any of this sort of movement. Up and down is fine, but you're hardly ever flying just straight up and down. So here, I'll show you that. Okay, so now I am testing out my DJI Mini 2 to test the 3-axis gimbal. And you're going to notice it's going to be a lot smoother. This is a much better drone, obviously, for videography and just general stabilization. It would be a good drone if you could vlog on it too, if you could attach a mic to it. Just so you know, the DJI and the Ruko, I'm floating my Sony ZV-1 above it with the mic attached, so you're getting audio here. It would be cool if you could somehow attach audio to this, but it's more just I wanted you to see what the stabilization can do. The fact here, I can run with it. I can turn with it. So I can tilt it, I can run with it, and it's a lot more stable than the Ruko, but you are paying a lot more for it. It's a much better quality drone in general for videography, because you need stable footage if you're going to be high up there. But yeah, it would be pretty cool if you could also vlog on it. Okay, bye for now. Where this drone shines is not necessarily with its video due to its lack of stable footage, unless you're a casual user, but with its photography. It takes those 4K crisp images, and its auto ISO and whatever software it has to regulate color and exposure is really good. And just for fun, I took a bunch of pics with it in my hand just to really see how it works in difficult conditions. And here's a selfie I took of it indoors just to push the limits of the camera. And you can always edit the pics after the fact and really recover some shadows and really push the image around, or maybe not that much. Okay, push too far. Yikes. Anyways, I also took some indoor video just to show you. Yet honestly, I was pleasantly surprised, and for me, these results help answer who this drone is for. This drone is going to be perfect for my 10-year-old nephew, who probably needs some practice before moving on to something almost triple the price, to see if it's something he actually has an affinity for and hence a sustainable interest in. And for that, this will be a great beginner drone. This drone, like I said, may also be perfect for an RC enthusiast, more so than a professional videography tool that you may want for shooting travel videos or real estate. So with that in mind, this may be a fantastic drone for the price for somebody who's more into photography than videography, because the images are completely comparable to the more expensive drones. So is the F11 Mini worth it? Well, if you're in any of those above groups, I think absolutely. And again, linked in the description are helpful videos on how to get this drone up and flying, as it can be a bit tricky, but other people have covered this topic way better than I will. So what do you think? Would you pick up this drone or save up until you can get the DJI Mini 2 3 or SE? Let me know. Thank you again for your time and attention. I've got a bunch more videos about videos on the way. Okay, thanks again. Bye all.